I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What was the VH1 show? It was the ladies of ladies of comedy, and then after a week they started putting a guy on each show.
Yeah, because they ran out of the 6 women, and
because I remember getting a call.
Was, more of a guy.
No, there was a different show. It wasn't VH1 Stand Up Spotlight. It was just women, and I remember getting a call, and I go, it says funny women of the night or whatever. And like, yeah, we're putting a guy on each show.
So it's a prostitute women of the night, but they put funny in it. So it's
funny women of the night.
Funny women of the night.
Well, whenever I would get a hooker, I would always make sure I had a funny one. Because, after sex, I'd like to be entertained a little bit. How about a couple of jokes and make it, just don't get up and leave. Give me a few minutes here. Let's make it funny. So happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all the
to all the mothers out there, all the mothers.
Yesterday was the Mother's Day.
Your mother.
Your mother's
Say hello to your mother.
Your mother's ass. Why is that a Boston thing? Why do the Boston guys always ask, how's your mother? Why do they always, what's that about?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's a New England-y Boston thing. You don't know about that?
Mark Wahlberg claims that he never said that, or he said it once, and I was like his thing.
Right. On Saturday Night Live, they would have some guy do, Wahlberg would always, how's your mother?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing.
How's your mother?
I thought it was a Boston thing. I didn't know. By the way, this is the first pod I'm airing with my eyeballs showing.
Well, I was going to get to that because
this one's good.
I want to hear the latest.
This one's got issues.
You went to the doctor. You said you had issues, and he looked at it and said, "It's not knocking my socks off."
Exactly.
Completely out of context.
He gives you 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes. This guy gives you 3 seconds, and he just came in and it was like, "Yeah." I go, "This seems swollen and it's closing still. This one's wide open." And he goes, "Yeah, all right." I go, "So is it swollen? Do you think?" He goes, "Nope, nothing that knocks my socks off. See you in June."
Well, I'm looking at it now on camera on your phone, and it's a little red and puffy. So you have an infection, dude. You need an antibiotic.
I know.
This happened to Bernie when she went to the dentist. She went to the dentist.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. She was swollen, and when she called and said, "Hey, it's swollen, it's red, it's puffy, and it's bothering me." And they said, "Take some Tylenol and call me in the morning." They didn't say call me in the morning. They said, "Take a couple of Tylenol, you're fine." She called back again. "No, I think it's really." Doctor said, I called the doctor, and he said, "No, it just it'll go down by tomorrow." Next morning, she goes to the GP, our guy. They go, "Yeah, we'll take a look at it." So they snuck her in between appointments. He says, "Oh," he goes, "You have shingles. Your doctor gave you shingles."
Huh? Shingles?
Yes.
Oh my God!
He hit some sort of nerve and exposed it, and didn't properly.
Good God!
Yeah, so and it was my dentist that I turned her on to, and now she doesn't go to him anymore. Obviously,
no, and she's divorcing you immediately, I would imagine.
Yeah. And I only go to my dentist for teeth cleaning from the hygienist, so I don't even go to him.
I only go to my dentist for dental work.
Yeah,
I went for a colonoscopy once, and he said, "Hey, dude. Come on."
He said, "You're head over heels, pal."
I like you, but clip it.
Oh my God, we got a clip out of that one.
God damn. But yeah, and it's I mean it's slow though too. In the morning it looks worse. Afternoon, evening it looks pretty good, but it's not where it should be by any means. But I guess it's just time. He's the pro.
Let me put my socks on. Hold on.
He's the pro. I'm sorry?
I'm putting on my socks. Okay.
Condom?
Let me look at it again, and if it knocks my socks off,
then
we'll do something.
Boom. See what you did there.
Hey,
we were in Key West yesterday. How about that?
I love Key West.
On a cruise? Pretty good, right?
Oh, it's
been a while. I haven't.
You walk off the ship, you're right in the heart of things. I have my favorite little places I go to. I have lunch. I even have the key lime pie. A slice.
Go for it. Yeah.
You can buy it by the slice.
I was going to, but then I went to Rick's, the pizza place, which I love that pizza.
Yeah, that's good.
And I had 2 big slices, and I was like, and it was hot as hell. And I walked Did 4.5 miles. So I did basically the
Nice.
whole island. And then I was like, I'm sweating. And I was like, and then I wanted a cigar. But, Key West is great for sales. They don't really have a lounge.
Oh,
The comfortable lounge. I used to go
yeah,
to
they had a couple of them, but maybe they've come and gone.
Grumpy's is gone. The one with the guy would have the gold, the
Oh,
lab. The lab would
yeah.
lay down. Yeah, the beautiful golden lab. But he's gone, Grumpy, and the place. So they have places you could buy cigars, but then you got to sit outside, and it's like, it's a little
Uh,
warm.
yeah, it's a little warm. Yeah, because Gary Coette and I went to go watch a Patriots game, and we went somewhere, and I don't remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't far from
Hmm.
one of the famous restaurants there. What's it
Could you
called?
sit? Could you sit in the window in this place with they had like rocking chairs, and you could look at the street and people
No,
walking
but
by?
I've been to that one
That place
before.
was great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it, but it gone. And then Kelly told me about a place called Better Than Sex, and it's like
Why is she Googling that?
she had been there. It's a
You want
dessert.
to talk about it?
It's no, it's an after 6 p.m. dessert room, but it's kind of red and dark and
Oh,
very
ooh.
decadent.
Like a speakeasy dessert
E-
place. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I didn't ask why she was there or what. I don't want any details, but I went and found it, and then of course I get there and it opens at 6 p.m. and it was noon. So I was like,
Hmm.
fuck me, okay.
Another swing
But
and a miss.
swing and a miss. But it was nice to be back. I hadn't been on Key West in forever. Used to go a lot on ships, and this was the first time in I don't know 10 years maybe.
Wow.
So we
Yeah, I
got to go
was.
back. We got to go back. I got to take a
Oh, we should
peek
do
at
an
it.
episode of the Two Dicks there, the backdrop, if we can.
That would be great.
Um,
That'd be a lot of fun.
yeah.
Key
The
West in black and white would be beautiful anyway. Just
yeah.
the look of Duval and black and white. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
would be
same thing
good.
with me. I would go there like a half a dozen times one season, and then like I wouldn't go for 3 years. Then I'd go once. I'm like, oh, and then I wouldn't go for another 2 years. It was especially when internet and mobile service was more important.
Oh, the
Yeah,
best.
like 10 years ago, you're like, oh, I'm in the US. I got my mobile
I remember
phone.
buying USA Today and being excited about it. I was like, I got a USA Today. I'm bringing it back to the ship. I'm gonna,
Woo!
have sex with this thing for the weekend.
People be approaching you. Oh, noble one who knows all.
That's it.
Please tell us what's
Yeah.
happening in the world outside the ship.
I remember Jay Leno being on Letterman talking about being on the road and how you read every word in a newspaper. Every
Yeah.
word. He goes, and I'd laugh as a kid, and then I'm on the ship literally reading every word in USA Today, trying to fill
It's
up an afternoon for,
and also getting
pre-internet.
material, trying to draw from current
I don't
event.
write material. I don't know what that
Oh,
means.
well, I did. I wrote my act and now I perform it.
Oh,
And then I
nice.
once in a while I steal a couple of your bits and it gets me through.
You ever look at your act and go, how the fuck did I write this? Like, how did this
Uh,
even happen?
It's all organic for me.
I just look at
Uh,
my act and I go, I don't remember writing any of these bits. I
no.
don't remember how they were formed. I don't remember, but I have them and I forgotten more than I can even remember. And it's just it's a very strange thing. And I think when you get older too, I appreciate writing a new bit so much
Oh
more
yeah.
than when I was young and just put a new bit in. Like, who cares? Now, if I get a new bit, man, I'm fucking ecstatic for,
When I
weeks.
change a line in a very old bit that's
Yes.
updated, that's
Yeah,
like in the same century, I get
that
so
counts.
excited. I get so excited to do the bit.
Ducharme's been writing.
Holy shit. Dude, did
He
you say
changed
milk?
his to
Did
R.
you
That's pretty
did you
good.
change it from ice cream cone to milkshake? Yeah, he goes, wow, it works so much better now.
Yeah, now it hit. Now it hits. I used to love the guys on ships, the old guys who wouldn't change anything. That always made me
A
laugh.
A to
You know,
Z,
the wording and
the
that shower
timing, the
curtain
order.
sticking to my ass, and I'm like, yeah, they don't really have shower curtains anymore. I don't care. That joke works. It's like, okay,
You
like I'm not changing a word.
even
Oh,
say, hey, before I have everybody has glass doors, but before that we had the shower curtain. Anybody remember that? At least do that.
nope,
But
nope,
just to stick those
nope.
guys,
That's too much effort, or it's like these guys went like, and I'm not saying I'm writing a fucking ton of jokes, but there were those guys who had like, they hit a wall. They went, I have an act, leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, this is the act. Like Leno, in a sense. That's why he's never done a special, never. Leno, you can go see Jay Leno. There's jokes from when I saw him at Governor's in 1986.
Now, he does have hours, but they're all tried and true.
I had a friend who went and saw him at Ruth Eckerd in Clearwater, and he was a fan back in the day, but he said, he goes, it's Tonight Showy jokes about the president. It's old shit, and then it's Q&A. So he's like, if you're a fan, it's fun, but it's not,
He loves his cars. It's all about his cars now.
Yeah, good for him. I know, never spent a dime of his Tonight Show money. The stories are
500 mil.
Okay,
500 mil.
Very good. Very good.
I think his car collection is probably because he's the celebrity, plus he knows his cars and he restores them the right way. I think his car collection is worth 10 times what he paid for it, or at least maybe more. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't he do a lot of the work or a lot of it himself?
And he shouldn't be. He caught on fire. He clotheslined himself riding one of his Harleys, testing
he fell down the hill at the
Hampton Inn. Half a billionaire, no security.
No.
Just walks into a sandwich shop. How you doing? Yeah, give me the Italian with everything. It's just like,
yeah. I saw a video of him online.
It's almost too weird.
Taco shop.
Yeah,
and it looked like a homeless guy. He looked homeless because his face was all fucked up and he was wearing a denim shirt.
Yeah, same denim shirt. We saw him. We saw him at Pinocchio's, Italian place in Burbank, and we're eating, plastic red checkered tablecloths.
Chianti bottle with a candle in it.
Yeah. All that old school place from the 50s. And she goes, Jay Leno's there. And I'm like, all right. And he walked up to the counter. Yeah, how you doing? How's it going, Gary? Yeah, give me a lasagna. How's the thing today? Good. Yeah. All right, put one of those in there for Mavis. He's just like,
right.
But he's like very approachable. She
won't know what it is anyway. But
yeah. Oh. He listens to the podcast, dude.
Of course. I'm sorry. I love Jay Leno. Big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan.
Yeah.
From 1986.
I'm an excellent driver. Big fan.
I like Jay. I was always a Letterman guy, but I like Jay. But it just seems like a lot of Jay. It's, you get to a point you go, okay, like you're a regular guy, and he just.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, he's oozing this. I'm a regular dude. I don't even touch my money.
You bought a $500,000 custom made.
Yeah, it's not regular
EV Rolls Royce. You're not a regular guy.
Not a regular guy. He's driving around in LA in that steam wagon thing.
Yeah,
with
the goggles on. I'm just a regular guy.
Chitty bang bang. Yeah, he looks like Dick Van Dyke, for God's sake.
Chitty bang bang.
But he's a regular dude. He's a regular.
I love you. Hey, I don't know the song.
You see that song? What song?
Chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. I love you. I did it with a British accent.
Chitty. Yeah, I'm
getting my Mary Poppins Dick Van Dyke mixed up with my chitty bang bang. Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, that right. Well, everybody was killing Van Dyke at the time for the accent because
it was over the top.
And they wanted an English actor, and he was like they hired him, but yeah, he really put it on the really horrible English accent.
I mean, I know it's a fantasy movie, but woo. 99 years old.
I just saw a video of him singing again at looked like a nursing home, but he was with those guys he sings with, and they were performing. And hey, whatever, man, good for him.
He did a podcast, and he said, "Hi." He waves to the crowd. It was a live podcast. He goes, "Hi, I'm what's left of Dick Van Dyke."
That's funny. Alan Zweibel, the writer from Saturday Night Live, when he wrote a book, and he said in his book that when Dick Van Dyke, he ran into him at NBC in the elevator. This is like in the 70s. And he goes to Dick Van Dyke, just what an honor to meet you. I watched your show, the Dick Van Dyke Show, and that's why I'm a comedy writer. I wanted to be exactly like you. And Dick Van Dyke said, "Well, that's a terrible thing. I'm sorry about that because I'm a raging alcoholic and I'm very unhappy. And I hope that's not going to be your life." And then he left the elevator. And my wife was
Wow.
like, "Jesus Christ, what the
He was
fuck?"
probably drunk.
Yeah, probably. It
He
was
said
at the height of his.
yeah,
Yeah,
he said he was he quit drinking, but he said I was drinking. I'd come home and have a martini. I only have another one. He goes, and then all of a sudden three, four, five, six, and he goes, and I was just,
yeah.
outside of performing, I was a complete drunk. So
It's amazing. He had all those years of being a drunk and then quit, and then his organs, and he's still 99 now, like his liver. And, usually there's damage. There's things that, you have the consequences of that.
my neighbor Joe, who passed away 2 years ago now, she was 96 and quick. She was
She
right
was
there,
quick.
physical. She was quick. She was a
That's
pistol,
good.
and she would walk the neighborhood right up to like the last year and a half. But she was a chain smoker and a recovering alcoholic. She did the
Hey,
hard
now.
stuff for decades.
Wow.
So I think we're okay.
It's all, yeah. It's,
Cigars and hard liquor, we're
I,
fine.
I mean, it's all like I've said a million times, genes and luck, and, it's all
And
it
then there's
is.
our comedian friend Murray Valerino. Is that his name? Valeriano. I can't pronounce his last name.
Who's this?
Vegan for 30 years. Surfer dude, thin, heart attack, triple bypass surgery. He survived, but he
Oh,
had surgery like 5 or 6 years ago.
who's this? I don't know the name.
Murray. I can't pronounce his last name. Italian
Oh,
last name. Out here on the
mm,
West Coast,
oh,
but here he is, vegan,
yeah,
vegetarian, whatever.
yeah.
And then
Doesn't
he
matter.
has to have triple bypass surgery.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, people who weigh 90 pounds have high cholesterol and they have high, it's all genes and shit. And
Jackson
anyway, Ruth,
Purdue, who's still with
who?
us.
Oh
Jackson
yeah,
Purdue, he had
barely,
the
but yeah,
triple bypass surgery. Moved to San
yeah,
Diego. Moved out of L.A.
yeah.
He's
Moved out of comedy.
moved, well, he still does it. He still does it.
I'm kidding.
But he was a gym rat, bike rider. Always
Big pothead.
big, huge pothead.
Not that it matters, but
He may have indulged in other things along the way.
yeah, probably.
I think openly he admits that. I'm not.
He was at the
But
comedy
it's not
store in the
slant.
'70s, for God's
Yeah.
sake. I mean, I would think he did. Another one who just died from your neck of the woods, Ruth Buzzy,
Yes, born
98 years old.
born in Westerly, Rhode Island. Actually,
Yes.
well, they have her listed as being born in Connecticut. There's two
Oh,
because Westerly, Rhode Island is on the border of Connecticut, and a lot of people would go to the hospital that was closest. Uh, that's why they were born. Children were born in Connecticut, but they actually reside in Rhode Island.
I think my mom was born in
Yeah.
Westerly at the
Oh, she
hospital there.
was,
I
but
believe it was
she
Westerly.
did live in Cranston for a spell, right? Was it Cranston or West Warwick?
No, she lived in Alton.
Alton. Alton
Alton.
Jones. Yeah, the
Yeah,
camp that I went to.
Alton, and I don't remember I remember going to Cranston for things. I don't know if she lived there or not, but yeah. But Ruth Buzzy, she was something, huh? Ruth, remember Ruth? Do you remember? I don't really remember her well. I remember as a kid, and then I've seen the clips with laughing, and that was a different day. Comedy. I mean, she's funny, but the old man hitting on her, and she hits him with a purse, and they ran that every week. You know what I mean? It's like
Because it would kill
we
with
kind of get it. I don't
with
know
the
what.
canned laughter.
Yeah, I mean, the comedy is a surprise, and that bit there's no surprise. We know
Well,
exactly what's
because
going to happen.
yeah, I
Why is
know, but that
funny?
was one of the rare things where you were waiting for it to happen. How were they going to get there this time? Last week, he's the pervert, the old guy. It was the
Yeah,
lines that Artie Johnson was saying
yeah.
to hit on this woman. That was a character she developed, I think, at the Pasadena Playhouse. I think when she moved to Los Angeles as like at 17, she was doing characters, and then she did those characters on other talk shows. Maybe early Tonight Show with who was it, Jack Parr or
Jack
some of those
Parr.
other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Steve Allen, Jack Parr, and then
I think she did that character on
Jenny.
various shows.
Yeah,
And then Laugh-In called her up, and she became a cast member of Laugh-In.
yeah, yeah. I don't. I
I
mean, I just she's. I mean, I have respect and all that. Make it. That's great. I just don't. To me, the clips I see, I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't get it. I get it, but I mean,
She made a living off of that. Actually,
oh, it's good. Great for her. I think it was. She was at the right time. If you come up now,
no,
I don't know what you're going to
it
be.
was all about the timing.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, her and her husband started restoring classic vehicles, and it became like a business.
Yeah.
And they were buying and selling, and also they had quite the collection. They moved to Texas, and they would rent their cars out for car shows and for movies and television. It became quite a lucrative business for them.
Huh. Interesting. How'd you know that?
Because Ruth Buzzy was a Rhode Island resident, and she was inducted into the Rhode Island Comedy Hall of Fame, which I was, yours truly, if
That's
you
right.
remember, about 2.5, 3 years ago. So there you go.
Was it 3 years already?
Yeah.
Wow. I gave you that caricature. It really captured you. I remember
July, yeah. Charlie Hall, comedian Charlie
Did Charlie
Hall.
Hall ever meet you? What the hell was that thing? Come on.
It was a joke. It was a
I
caricature.
know. Pretty good.
Caricature definition. Look it up.
Caricatures are not they're mean. They're just mean. You're paying someone to take
Enlarge
whatever,
my head.
and make my features even crazier than they are.
Exaggerate
Make me
anything
look
I have.
bizarre. Yeah.
If I have a mole, make it into from a mound. What,
I
a
don't like
molehill
it.
to a mound? Yeah. Dude, I'm going to get the eye surgery. Look at me. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm on East Coast time. I came home 3
You've been
hours
home a
ahead.
day. You've been home a day.
But I've been getting up
You
at
did a
6 a.m.
gig. Did that gig.
I get up at 6 a.m. and I
You
had a
don't do
gig at night.
gigs.
And I drive 35 minutes
No.
each way.
No,
and
$500. Those got to be a minimum $5. You work
Okay.
all the time. You
All
travel
right.
all the time. You're
sometimes,
home.
but sometimes
Get
I need
home.
to be in front of
No, you don't.
a club or something on land for my head.
No, no. I mean, I know what you're saying. I shouldn't say no. I did one recently.
I'm speaking.
But you got to go.
I'm
You
speaking
got to
for
set a
myself.
minimum. Got to have a minimum.
No,
price.
you do. You do.
You got to have one. Come on.
I will say sometimes
You
I'll get
can't see
back,
Al
I'll be
Duchamp
like,
for $200. That's fucked up.
who said I made $200?
I'm guessing because these kind of gigs, 30 minutes from home. I know you. You're grabbing. 200 at the max.
You know what? I know people that will go do them for free just for the stage time.
Not after 50 years in the business. Stage time.
I used to do sketch comedy with Ruth
Stage
Buzzy.
time. That's the last thing I want. I don't even want stage time when I'm getting paid.
There were a couple of guys. One guy was like 35 or so. He was so excited
Oh,
to
God.
be working with us, and
That's good. I get it.
yeah, he was one of these guys where instead of standing in the back of the room by the doors and watch the show, he was standing over. There was no seats left. There was it was like 200 people. There were no seats left, so he's standing stage left, and I can see him in the periphery.
No, what is that?
And I'm like, he's 35. He's not 25. So he's green, but he's LA green.
No,
So I'm like, why is he standing in my periphery?
the worst.
Like he's hosting and I'm going over or something.
I had one like that where the guy hosted and then brought me on and then sat.
No, we're in the front row or something.
And I literally to stage left, right next to the staircase. And I went, dude, you got to leave. I hadn't even
good
started
for
yet.
you.
I go,
I
you got to
wanted
leave.
to say it.
You got to leave. And he goes, what? I go, you can't sit. And meanwhile, I haven't even told a fucking joke yet. So they're looking at me like, well, now I better be funny after this because now I'm like, there's no show. And I'm just going, you got to leave, man. No, you can't sit there. Come on, dude. Come on, leave. Go in the back. And then I was trying to, whatever I said, like some jokey joke. But then I kind of told the crowd, I'm like, isn't that insane? Like, why would he be there? And
I had a guy, he came with a group of people. He was hosting, walked right in, sat in the front row with this group of people, like center. I'm like, what are you doing? I did say something that night. I go, what are you doing? I go, you're the host. I go, you're supposed to be just
Ugh.
sitting in the back, standing in the back.
That is the-
I go, it's distracting. I made fun of
weirdest.
him and was getting laughs. I was shitting on
Yeah.
him. And then he finally got up and walked away. And I was like,
Yeah. No, it's
and
the
again,
weirdest thing.
not a young kid either. Some guy like 40.
I had one at McCurdy's in Sarasota. The middle act got off. He was done. The MC brought me on, and he sat in the front row center.
Oh my God.
And I go, what are you doing? And I didn't say anything like that to get rid of him. But afterwards, he came back in the green room. And I go, what are you doing? I go, why would you do that? And he goes, oh, my friends were there, and I wanted to watch you. I go, not in the front. You're in the show, man. You're part of the show now.
It's a distraction.
What do you? It's unbelievable. I would never.
And the
even when I
audience
was
is
starting. I
keyed
wouldn't do
into
that.
because they'll look over when the guy goes to sit
Yeah.
down. Right away, they're looking over, and you're doing.
Well, he's
your
not
opening
supposed to be
joke.
in the audience.
No, you're doing your opening joke, so it takes the wind out of the sails, and then every once in a while, someone will kind of like look over.
Ah.
Is the MC, the other comedian, laughing? What's going on? Why is it?
No, it's bizarre.
And then he's got to get up
Yeah.
and go stand on
Oh,
the
that
side of the
host.
stage.
Yeah. Oh,
my!
crazy. Crazy. I don't know.
Fucking
Do they
amateur.
not know, or do I mean?
How could you not know that?
But that's the
You're
thing. I was never
delusional.
told it. That's something you just have to
You
know.
know,
We weren't-
if you don't know that instinctively, then you
yeah,
shouldn't be
you
on
shouldn't be doing
stage.
this. No,
No.
you're right. You're right.
You should be
Yeah.
fucking tarred and feathered. How about
That's
that?
right. Please,
Yeah.
tar and feather. Those
Yeah.
are the days. You know,
Yeah, we
tar
missed
and
it.
feather. I wonder what sadist thought that up. You know what I mean? Where it's like we're gonna punish this guy. Let's get some tar, and they're like, all right, we're gonna do tar. We're gonna put it all over him. What? All right, then what? Then we get feathers. We'll just cover him in feathers. It'll be awesome. And they were like,
Well,
"That's pretty
yeah,
good.
but
That's pretty good."
that tar was like 300 degrees.
Yeah, and then they died a day later. It was all poisonous. They were breathing it
If
in.
you didn't die and you survived, it wasn't a good life.
Yeah, it was like the old witch. You know, if you drown, you're not a witch, and if you float, you're a witch. So
That was a land grab.
what's that?
That was a land grab. They wanted the land, so they would
Oh,
create witchery and whatnot.
oh, I was
And if
thinking of
women-
land. I was
And if
thinking of
the
land
old
gig.
man, yeah, oh well, if the husband died, they didn't want it. Well, some of the church wouldn't allow women to have own land, but in certain parts of the world,
Good old days.
they would just they'd say, well, "Oh, she's possessed by Satan." And
You know, you're making me remind me. I had a cigar a week ago, whatever. I don't know, on whatever ship I was on last. I can't. And anyway, this guy was talking about. You ever talk to somebody when they're wrong, but you don't want to start because you don't want to be that conversational.
well, it
But-
usually doesn't stop you.
Well, the guy the guy goes, we were talking about something, and he goes, hell, they didn't even give the women the vote till 1970. And I go, well, that's not true. And he goes, yeah, women didn't vote till 1970. And I'm like, no,
Black men before they
that's not
started calling
true. That's not
I know.
true.
No, it's not true. Black
And
men,
I don't want to get into this. I don't want to Google it,
No.
but
black
we doing?
men. You're making me say black men 4 times.
who?
Before they were
Well,
called
at least you're using that
African-American.
word, not the other word you usually use.
Before they were called African American, they were called black men. You can still call them black men. It's politically correct.
Colored?
Well,
Yeah, colored.
there was a period where you weren't allowed.
That was
to
better than black.
say
Black
yeah.
was an
So
insult.
it keeps changing.
Yeah.
And us old guys got to keep up with this shit.
Why
otherwise
use the
they
N
go,
word?
Yeah.
That's the only one. That's 6 right through, no changing. Everyone knows.
Well,
what that-
Nigerian. They were from
That's right.
Nigeria.
That's right.
And you
they
were
sent
only
me
called the N word if you were
the
from
prince.
Nigeria.
The Prince
you
of
were from-
Nigeria.
But because
has
we
offered
didn't know,
millions.
Geographic borders and all that, people would say
Who didn't?
they're Nigerian, so they would shorten it, and that's where the N word came from. But the black community embraced it. But the point I was trying to make was black males were allowed to vote before women in the United States of America.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. All good.
We had it right.
Yes. The fuck are we doing? Things were good.
Cover their heads. Cover their faces.
Oh man. Anyway, I'm in Bimini today. I've never been.
Stop bragging.
You ever been?
I have. It's a beach resort. It's
Yeah, but you told me that other one was good, and I got off the ship, and it sucked.
We said it was better than Costa Maya, and we enjoyed it because we were expecting it to be exactly like Costa Maya, and it wasn't great. I told you there was no cigar lounges.
There was
You'd have
nothing to
to go,
enjoy. There was
you'd have to
nothing
go
to.
beyond that.
I didn't. I mean, I walked and did the whole thing, and I'm like,
I bought Bernie a hat,
oh.
and then we sat down and had a drink, and then we talked about, oh, if we come back here, we'll do the little. They have a little inner tube river that goes through the entire
I saw that.
place, and we thought we'd do that while we had a buzz on.
Yeah.
We had the
Last
day
thing
off.
Last thing I want to be
in
in. Last thing I want to be in an inner tube and have people going, "Hey, it's a comedian. Hey, there's Alan Burney. Hi, Alan Burney." And you guys are in your bathing suits on a tube floating.
That's why we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
You're not doing it.
We're not doing it. We were buzzed. We had 2 drinks.
Exactly. It's like Paul Boland, who's a ship entertainer. People who've cruised listening know Paul, but Paul likes to have a cocktail. And
No.
yeah, he enjoys he'll enjoy a little a little booze.
He's a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, big sports guy. But we were hanging out on a ship one time and just really putting him back. And one of the dancers was brand new on the ship, and she was talking about tomorrow's the beach and somewhere, and Paul's like, all right. He goes, what, 7:30, 8, want to meet on the gangway? And she was like, yeah. And I'm looking at him like, you're going to be up at 8 a.m.? He goes, we'll go on the gangway. I'll show you the island. I'll take you around the whole thing. And she's like, oh, that's great. Thank you so much. And he's like, no problem. And then the next night, we're all get together again. We're having some drinks. And she's looking at him. And she goes, where were you? And he's like, what? And she goes, to the gangway. You weren't even, I called you, nothing. You didn't answer your phone. What happened? And he's like, oh, shit. He goes, well, when I'm drinking, never listen to anything I say. It's like, you naive fool. He just looked at her like, are you kidding?
Now, I've also gone out drinking with Paul Boland and said, dude, we got to get up early. It's turnaround day. So I'm out. And he's got a glass of scotch in his hand with a beer chaser. He goes, oh, all right. I'll see you in the morning. And I'm buzzed, and I walk out.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the water, go to sleep, knowing that my alarm's going to go off in 5 hours.
Ugh.
And he's there, sober as a judge.
Yep. Yeah, he's a pro. He's a pro. He's been crew barring it and doing the ship drinking for a long time. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. But I don't like
when you have
mentally.
2 livers.
But mentally, I can't do that anymore. I can't be like drinking, going, okay, in 5 hours, I got to be up at a thing, and I'll leave. You know what I mean? That's not enjoyable to know that I'm going to hate myself in 5 hours. Hate myself more than normal in 5 hours.
I have great discipline about leaving. I don't do the Irish exit, but I'm working on it about leaving the situation.
Yeah.
You still get the peer pressure. Where you going? Where you go? Heck no! Come on, one more. That still happens. It's like,
it seems kind of dumb at this age.
And the 50-year-olds are doing this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's kind of dumb.
And they're grabbing you. They physically, because they're drunk. And they grab, come on, don't be mushy. I'm like, dude, what is this? College?
Yeah, I will get that way if I'm over whatever my limit. Then I don't want it. You've probably seen me where I'm like, let's have another. Let's stay. I don't like to leave when it's going. So I kind of get that.
I can put on the brakes and go, oh, if I have one more, my morning will be wasted. So I'm going to walk. And I walk and I go drink water, a lot of water.
Yeah.
And then
I can do that with wine and stuff. But those old fash, when they start, like I had 2 we went to Ruth's Chris, John Shipman, Patreon member, and Katie, his wife. They were in town, Johnny's birthday. And we went to Ruth's Chris with Big Johnny. And I had 2 old fash. And I wanted another. But I could tell he was only having 2. And Kelly wasn't really drinking. And neither was Katie. So I was like, I'm going to be that guy. But I really wanted one. So then when dessert, they both passed on dessert. But I got espresso martini.
I know you did.
Wow. Kind of covered my... got a little booze, a little dessert. Didn't look like those. I mean,
chocolate martini is dessert. Espresso martini means I'm going to be an alert drunk.
I'm going to be alert. I'm going to be awake when I get home And but we did the same thing you and I did at Charlie's. We split the porterhouse for two, and left nothing but a bone on a plate.
Yeah.
That was fucking delicious. Really good. Yeah. Real good, man.
They do it right there. There are places that you can argue are better, but when you
Charlie's
get to
is better.
When you get to the 8s, then anything above 8 is great, and they fall in the 8 to 9, and then Charlie.
They're little commercials. Some of the people,
sure.
steak people, I've heard people, and they go, "It's good, it's very good," but it's almost like it's a chain in their eyes.
Yeah,
and that means something. There's a certain
sure.
Which
Delmonico,
but I don't mind that.
Charlie's.
Do you mind that?
Yeah.
I like knowing that something's
not if it's an 8 or higher.
Yeah.
8 or higher.
If I'm going to spend that money, I want to know. I know this is good. Where it's instead of a mystery.
I'm getting a 6-ounce fillet with. If I'm going there solo, which I do, I belly up to the bar. I get my old fashioned. I get a 6-ounce fillet with 3 shrimp, cream spinach, maybe a salad, and then they give you a little slice of cheesecake, and then I have a glass of wine with that.
You get your Malbec.
I get my Malbec for my steak. Exactly. Yeah. So I get up. I'm buzzed. I'm full. I walk to my hotel, and hopefully I don't get hit by a car.
Yeah, that's the goal. Just try to get back to that hotel. That's all we got to do. And the next day, I mean, the job is not that hard. You get back to the hotel, then the next day you find your way to the ship. And it's like this page we have on Facebook with all these guest entertainers, and it's like every day they're writing questions. How do I get on? What do I do? It's like you're an adult. You're a human being. You can figure this out. You know what I mean? You can figure this out. You did it. I did it.
I know, but I've gone on where, I'm going here. I haven't been here in like 8 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll ask. I haven't asked a question in a long time. I go, hey, I'm trying to remember. Do they still do the procedure this way? And someone will go, no, there's a new building, and the port agent meets you there. And just to get a sense.
No, I know. I'm kidding around a little bit.
All right.
A little bit. That page isn't, it annoys me, some of it. I like the ones
because
where
some of the people use it as a social media thing more than helpfulness. And I don't mind asking a question and doing a little silly question in there,
Right.
Or making a silly comment, but
yeah, I like the ones where the same person over and over, they'll be like, "Hey, I'm in Nassau today. Anybody else?" And you look, no comments, nothing. Yeah. You think at some point they'd go, I've got the point here. Every time I post, no one responds. I'm not going to post anymore. You know what I mean? Like you would think they'd get that, but
same thing here. I did it like 2 or 3 times years ago, and got no response. Something like that. And I had people reach out to me, direct message, and they go, "Hey, I see you're on the such and such ship." And I'm like, how did you know that?
Right.
Oh, there's a way. Sometimes if you go on the app, if you go, it shows, sometimes, not always, it will show the, meanwhile, I'm like, you went in the office, the cruise director, you looked at the grid.
Yeah.
You took a picture of the grid.
Right. But he should, sometimes asking is good though. Like I remember a month or so ago, I was on Liberty of the Seas and Bernie was on Utopia and we were in Coco Cay together, but I never knew it, and she didn't know. And then we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, we were in Coco Cay last week." So that kind of thing, you can go out and have a drink or something with someone. That's cool, but I never think of going, "Hey, who's in this port?" Because most of them I don't really want to associate with.
Well, some people will go and look what ships are in. They go, "Hey, who's going to be on the Liberty? I'm coming in. Do you want to get together?" And they get no response. Some people do respond. It's not. I
hate when they go, "Anyone I know on the Liberty?" It's like, how would I know? I don't know who you know.
I posted a few times in the past to go, "Hey, I'm going to be in Ketchikan. I'm going to such and such. Anybody wants to join me? First beer's on me," something like that. And sometimes people would come without responding.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, you didn't respond, but you're showing up.
Do you have Alaska? Speaking of Ketchikan, do you have Alaska coming up? The beautiful frontier of the
overrated
United States. Yeah, it is completely. But do you have it coming up?
I don't think it's overrated. That's Al Romas. He thinks it's overrated. I do.
I know it is. You know it is.
I have my places I like.
It's nothing with nice scenery. It's a couple of old buildings with a mountain behind it and some snow cap.
I have my places. Bernie My wife Bernie will go with me on a couple, so we enjoy that aspect. We'll
That's
do
nice.
excursions and whatnot. Hike.
I
I
mean,
like
I'm
the,
kidding.
but we hike. We hike.
You walk.
So
Walk.
we
That
we
hike.
hike.
What's it? You hike. You walk.
We go up a steep mountain and get to the top.
Everyone
and we
hikes. What
look
happened to
down,
walking?
and
No
we
one
go,
walks. Everyone's hiking. I think it's
and we
walks.
go and we say, why did we do this? What was the reason for doing this?
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that. When I
It is
go
funny.
hiking in those
Walking.
places, I'll have hiking boots on. I actually have hiking boots, but it's pretty much a basic thing. Whereas I go with Joe Unetti, and he's got hiking onesie boots. He's
Oh,
got
really?
walking sticks. He's got a backpack with a tube
walking
for
stick.
water. He's
Does he
got
wear
a
his monocle?
visor hat. He's got binoculars, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
we're going for a 3 mile hike. We're not going for a
Yeah.
3 day excursion here.
That's funny. And
He's got a compass watch.
Yeah.
He's got like a compass watch. Like, he's got a safety nets and
I think we get
block
it.
and tackles.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you keep interrupting because you had too much coffee.
I'm wired as shit. Does Joe still wear the monocle? Which I never got that whole thing, but he always had a monocle around his neck.
He went with a monocle for reading, but it reminded me of Bud Friedman, and I couldn't get past it.
No, a monocle is hilarious. Just the word is funny, and the idea the guy has it in 2025 using a monocle. Well done, Joe. Hats off to you. And he wears a hat, folks. That's why I said hats off. I haven't seen Joe in quite a while, in fact. And I don't know if he's on the social anymore because I looked him up recently and he was off unless he blocked me, which is possible.
I haven't seen him.
up there.
I seen him sign off on social a couple of years ago. Have we done 40 minutes?
That's plenty. We're good. I got nothing.
We started at 7 after 41 minutes.
Here's my notes. Key West. Okay. Ruth Buzzy. Okay. 2 welcome shows. Okay. Porta Playa sucks. Bimini. And Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Until we meet again. Happy Mother's Day to you. You are
live in a shoe. What was Tom Cotter's joke about the old woman who lived in a shoe? She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. How about stop fucking?
And what was Dice's? There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She had 12 children and her fucking uterus fell out. I think something like that.
And that's the podcast for today. Thanks for tuning in. Arrivederci.
So long now. Have a good trip.
Iceberg, dead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
A feeding frenzy quickly develops.
This is the 2 Owls, 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, so.
Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Patreon.com/2owls1pod.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why? I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.